What if everything you've been taught about your existence, your soul, and your spiritual journey has been nothing more than a carefully constructed illusion designed to keep you from discovering the most extraordinary truth in cosmic history? But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. Right now, as you're watching this video, there's something stirring deep within you, a feeling that you're meant for something far greater than this ordinary human experience. Has this ever happened to you? That sudden rush of knowing that you don't quite belong here, that you're capable of so much more than what this physical world seems to allow? Well, what you're about to discover might surprise you, because according to the most documented psychic in recorded history, that feeling isn't your imagination. It's your soul remembering its true cosmic origin. Edgar Cayce, known as the Sleeping Prophet, left behind over 14,000 meticulously recorded readings that shatter every conventional understanding of human existence. While in deep trance states, Cayce accessed what he called the Akashic records, the cosmic library containing the complete spiritual history of every soul that has ever existed. And what he discovered about your soul's origin story makes every religious text, every spiritual teaching, and every New Age philosophy look like children's bedtime stories in comparison. Stay with me until the end, because what Cayce revealed will fundamentally transform everything you think you know about why you're here, where you came from, and what you're truly capable of achieving. According to his documented readings, your soul didn't begin when you were born into this physical body. In fact, your consciousness existed billions of years before your first physical breath, participating in the most incredible cosmic adventure ever conceived. But here's where it gets absolutely mind-bending. Cayce's readings reveal that you weren't forced into this human experience, you volunteered for it. You actually chose to participate in what he called the most dangerous spiritual experiment in universal history. Think about that for a moment. Before you ever had a physical body, before Earth even existed as we know it, your soul made a conscious decision to embark on a journey that would fundamentally change the very nature of your divine existence. Has this ever happened to you, that inexplicable sense that you're somehow trapped in a reality that feels too small, too limiting for what you know you truly are inside? According to Cayce, that feeling is absolutely accurate. He taught that souls like yours became what he termed earthbound, caught in what he described as a material world prison that most souls can never escape from. But this wasn't a punishment or some cosmic mistake. What you're about to discover might surprise you, because this imprisonment was actually the inevitable result of the most magnificent spiritual adventure ever undertaken. Your soul's journey from pure divine consciousness into dense physical matter wasn't an accident. It was a carefully planned expedition into uncharted territories of existence, an exploration so profound that it would expand the very boundaries of what consciousness itself could experience. But how exactly did this cosmic experiment begin, and why did souls like yours willingly enter what would become a spiritual labyrinth that spans countless lifetimes? If you're feeling called to dive deeper into these cosmic truths and continue your spiritual awakening journey, make sure to subscribe to this channel. We're here to help you remember who you truly are through the most profound spiritual teachings ever documented. The answer lies in something so profound that it completely transforms how you understand your own consciousness and decision-making process. When Edgar Cayce entered those deep trance states, he wasn't just accessing random spiritual information. He was tapping into what exists as the ultimate hidden truth behind all existence, the Akashic records. Imagine, if you will, a cosmic library that contains not just the history of every soul that has ever existed, but the complete blueprint of every thought, every emotion, every choice that has ever been made throughout the entire universe. This isn't some mystical concept that exists in the realm of fantasy. According to Cayce's documented experiences, the Akashic records represent the living memory of creation itself, a vibrational database where every moment of every soul's journey through existence is permanently recorded. When you have those sudden flashes of insight, those moments where you just know something without being able to explain how you know it, you're actually accessing fragments of this cosmic library that exists within your own consciousness. But here's what will completely shift your mindset about your own spiritual journey and the impact you're having on reality itself. Cayce revealed that the moment of your soul's creation wasn't just some distant cosmic event that happened and ended. The energy signature of that original divine moment is still actively reverberating through the universe today, creating ripple effects that connect every single thought you think, every emotion you feel, and every decision you make back to that primordial instant. When you first emerged from the mind of the Creator, think about the implications of this revelation for your daily transformation and personal growth. Every time you choose love over fear, every moment you decide to expand your consciousness rather than contract it, every instance where you trust your intuition over external programming, you're not just making random human choices, you're actually expressing the original divine pattern that was established at the moment of your soul's birth. Billions of years ago. This means that your current spiritual awakening, your growing awareness of hidden truths, your increasing sensitivity to energy and consciousness, none of this is new. You're not becoming something different. You're remembering something ancient, something that has been encoded in the very fabric of your being since the beginning of cosmic time. The journey you're on right now, the revelations you're experiencing, the behind-the-scenes spiritual work happening in your life. All of this is your original divine nature working to reassert itself through the temporary limitations of physical existence. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic, because what Cayce discovered about how souls were actually created will revolutionize everything you think you know about your relationships, your purpose, and why certain people feel like instant soul family when you meet them. Write in the comments, "I remember," if this resonates with something deep inside your soul. What Cayce discovered about this process will completely revolutionize your understanding of why certain people trigger such profound transformations in your life, sometimes from the very first moment you encounter them. According to his revelations, your soul wasn't created in isolation as some lonely cosmic accident floating through space. Instead, souls were brought into existence through what he called waves of emanation, massive cosmic events where the Creator projected millions of individual souls into existence simultaneously, each one emerging as a unique facet of divine consciousness. Picture this. Imagine the Creator having a singular, incredibly complex divine thought, and that thought being so powerful, so multifaceted, that it exploded into millions of individual expressions, each carrying a piece of the original divine pattern while maintaining its own unique perspective and journey. This means that somewhere out there, scattered across the cosmos and throughout time, are souls who originated from the exact same divine thought wave as you. They carry the same spiritual DNA, the same energetic signature, the same core mission, but expressed through completely different individual experiences and choices. This is why some people create such an immediate impact on your mindset and spiritual development. When you meet someone and feel that instant recognition, that sense of, "I know you from somewhere, but I can't place where," you're not experiencing déjà vu or imagination. You're encountering what Cayce called a member of your soul family, someone who was emanated from the same divine thought pattern as you were billions of years ago. The hidden truth behind those inexplicable connections, those relationships that seem to accelerate your spiritual journey, whether they're comfortable or challenging, is that these souls are working with you on the same cosmic mission. The behind-the-scenes spiritual mechanics of these encounters are far more sophisticated than most people realize. Your soul family members don't just randomly show up in your life. They appear precisely when your consciousness is ready for the next level of transformation, often bringing with them the exact lessons, challenges, or revelations you need to remember more of your original divine nature. Sometimes they come as romantic partners who awaken dormant aspects of your heart. Sometimes they arrive as mentors who trigger quantum leaps in your understanding. And sometimes they show up as difficult relationships that force you to confront and heal patterns that have been limiting your spiritual expansion for lifetimes. This understanding completely shifts how you approach every significant relationship in your life. That person who seems to push all your buttons, that friend who intuitively knows exactly what you need to hear, that romantic connection that feels like coming home. These aren't random encounters based on physical attraction or surface compatibility. These are cosmic reunions between souls who chose to support each other's journey back to divine consciousness, playing different roles in each other's awakening process across multiple lifetimes and dimensions. Now, I want to explore something even more extraordinary about your original spiritual state, because what Cayce revealed about the abilities you possessed immediately after creation will explain why you sometimes feel capable of things that seem impossible in this physical reality. Write in the comments, soul family, if you've felt that instant recognition with someone in your life. The truth about what you were originally designed to be will fundamentally shift every decision you make about your own potential and spiritual transformation. According to Cayce's revelations, when your soul first emerged from that divine thought wave, you weren't created as some limited being destined to struggle through physical existence. You were crafted with what he called a divine pattern blueprint, a unique spiritual architecture containing unlimited creative potential, complete free will, and the extraordinary capacity to become a co-creator with the very source of all existence. This means that every moment you feel constrained by physical limitations, every time you sense there's something greater you're meant to be doing, every instance where you intuitively know you're capable of manifesting realities that seem impossible, that's not wishful thinking or spiritual fantasy. That's your original divine programming trying to break through the temporary amnesia of physical incarnation. The behind-the-scenes truth is that your soul still carries this complete blueprint, even though most of its capabilities are currently dormant within your consciousness. But here's where Cayce's revelations become absolutely mind-bending and explain why certain spiritual practices create such profound impact on your life journey. In your original state, immediately after creation, you possessed abilities that would appear as pure magic by today's standards. You could create entire worlds through focused thought alone. You could communicate instantly across infinite distances without any physical medium. You existed simultaneously in multiple dimensions, experiencing different layers of reality at the same time while maintaining complete awareness of each experience. If this cosmic revelation resonated with something deep within your soul, if you felt that sense of recognition and remembering, please hit the like button. It helps me know that these teachings are reaching the souls who are ready to remember their true divine identity. Think about the implications of this hidden truth for your current spiritual development and mindset transformation. When you meditate and suddenly feel like you're expanding beyond your physical body, when you have those moments of knowing something before it happens, when you experience synchronicities that seem too perfect to be coincidental, you're not developing new abilities. You're remembering ancient capacities that were part of your original divine nature. Every breakthrough in consciousness, every leap in intuitive understanding, every moment where you feel connected to something infinitely larger than yourself is actually your soul accessing fragments of its original godlike creative power. This revelation completely reframes how you approach your spiritual journey and personal transformation. You're not trying to become something you've never been. You're working to remember and reactivate abilities that are more natural to your true essence than breathing is to your physical body. The limitations you experience, the feelings of separation and powerlessness, the sense that magic and miracles are rare exceptions rather than natural expressions of consciousness, all of these are temporary conditions created by your immersion in dense physical matter, not permanent aspects of your true spiritual identity. Now, I want to explore what happened next in this cosmic story, because understanding why you chose to give up these incredible abilities and enter physical existence will reveal the most important hidden truth about your current life purpose and spiritual mission. Write in the comments, "I remember my power," if this awakens something deep within your soul's memory. The reality of what you truly are beneath this human experience is so extraordinary that most people can't fully process it without going through a complete mindset transformation. You weren't just given a few special abilities or modest creative powers when your soul first emerged. According to Cayce's revelations, you were literally a god in miniature, possessing all the creative powers of the universe at your disposal. Every force that shapes galaxies, every energy that births stars, every consciousness that dreams entire realities into existence, all of this was naturally accessible to your original divine state. This explains why certain moments in your life feel like glimpses behind the scenes of reality itself. When you're in deep, creative flow and time seems to disappear, when you manifest something so perfectly that it feels like magic, when you have those peak experiences where you feel connected to the infinite source of all creation. These aren't rare spiritual gifts or special talents. These are moments when your current human consciousness briefly aligns with your original godlike nature, allowing fragments of your true creative power to break through the temporary limitations of physical existence. The hidden truth that will completely revolutionize your approach to personal growth and spiritual development is this: that persistent feeling you have of being capable of so much more than your current circumstances allow isn't wishful thinking, self-delusion, or unrealistic expectations. It's actually soul memory bleeding through from your original divine state, constantly reminding you of what you truly are beneath this temporary physical disguise. Your consciousness is literally designed to feel constrained by human limitations because those limitations aren't natural to your authentic spiritual identity. Every decision you make to expand your consciousness, every choice to trust your intuition over conventional wisdom, every moment you decide to believe in possibilities that others call impossible, you're not being naive or overly optimistic. You're responding to the constant whispers of your soul memory, which remembers when creating miracles was as natural as breathing, when manifesting realities was simply a matter of focused intention, when existing simultaneously across multiple dimensions was your normal state of being. This understanding creates a profound impact on how you approach the challenges and transformations in your current life journey. Instead of seeing obstacles as proof of your limitations, you begin to recognize them as temporary illusions that your God-like consciousness is learning to transcend. Instead of accepting suffering as inevitable, you start to remember that your original nature is pure creative joy and unlimited possibility. The spiritual path isn't about gaining something you don't have. It's about removing the layers of forgetting that are concealing what you've always been. Now, I want to explore the most crucial part of this cosmic story, because understanding why you willingly chose to enter this challenging physical experience will reveal the magnificent purpose behind every difficulty you've ever faced and every transformation you're currently going through. Write in the comments, I am remembering. If you feel your divine nature stirring as we uncover these truths together, the most paradigm-shifting revelation that will completely transform your understanding of your life purpose and spiritual journey comes from what Cayce discovered about why souls were actually created in the first place. This hidden truth challenges every traditional religious teaching you've ever encountered. According to his readings, souls weren't created to worship God from some distant, separated position, bowing down in eternal servitude or living in static heavenly realms forever. You were created to be God's actual partner in ongoing creation itself, actively exploring infinite possibilities of consciousness and expanding the very nature of divine experience through your individual journey. This means that every decision you make, every transformation you undergo, every challenge you face isn't just about your personal growth or karma or spiritual lessons. You're literally participating in the expansion of divine consciousness itself. When you choose love over fear, when you make decisions that honor your authentic nature, when you break through limiting beliefs and step into greater expressions of your truth, you're not just improving your own life. You're adding new dimensions of understanding to the cosmic consciousness that created you. But here's where Cayce's revelations become absolutely revolutionary and will fundamentally shift your entire mindset about your relationship with the divine. According to his readings, you're not some fallen being trying desperately to get back to God, carrying shame about your human imperfections, or struggling to prove your worthiness for divine love. The behind-the-scenes reality is far more extraordinary. You literally are God, exploring what it's like to be you, learning and growing through every single experience you have. This completely reframes the impact of every moment in your life journey. When you experience joy, God is discovering joy through your unique perspective. When you face challenges, God is exploring how divine consciousness responds to limitation and obstacle. When you create something beautiful, solve a problem, or love someone deeply, God is expanding understanding of creative expression through your individual experience. You're not separate from the divine trying to reconnect. You're the divine consciousness itself, temporarily focused through the lens of human experience. This understanding transforms how you approach every aspect of your spiritual development and personal transformation. Instead of seeking God outside yourself, you begin to recognize that every authentic impulse, every moment of inspiration, every surge of compassion or creativity is God expressing through you. Instead of believing you need to become worthy of divine love, you start to realize that you are divine love, exploring what it's like to exist in physical form. The spiritual path isn't about transcending your humanity to reach something higher. It's about fully embracing your humanity as the divine consciousness, having this incredibly rich, complex, and meaningful experience. Now, I want to reveal what happened when this magnificent partnership was offered to souls like yours, because understanding the nature of the cosmic invitation you accepted will explain why you chose to enter what would become the greatest adventure and the most challenging experiment in universal history. Write in the comments, "I am divine," if this truth resonates with the deepest knowing within your soul. What happened next in this cosmic story will completely revolutionize how you understand every challenge, every struggle, and every moment of growth you've ever experienced in your life journey. According to Cayce's revelations, the Creator didn't just leave these newly formed divine souls floating around in spiritual realms with nothing to do. Instead, something extraordinary occurred that would set the stage for the most magnificent adventure in universal history. The Creator presented these godlike consciousnesses with what Cayce called the Great Experiment, an unprecedented opportunity to explore consciousness through increasingly dense forms of matter, beginning in pure spiritual realms and eventually progressing all the way into dense physical reality. Picture the magnitude of this cosmic invitation and the impact it would have on every soul's transformation. The Creator essentially opened up entirely new dimensions of existence that had never been explored before, realms where consciousness could experience itself through increasingly solid, tangible forms. This wasn't about leaving the spiritual world behind. It was about expanding the very boundaries of what consciousness could experience and understand about itself through different vibrational frequencies and states of being. The hidden truth that will shift your entire mindset about why you're here is this: what the Creator offered wasn't punishment for some cosmic sin, it wasn't a test to prove worthiness, and it wasn't exile from paradise. This was an invitation to participate in the greatest adventure in cosmic history. The Creator, in essence, said to souls like yours, "I've given you unlimited creative power, complete free will, and godlike abilities. Now I'm offering you the chance to explore every possible form of consciousness and experience, to venture into uncharted territories of existence, and to bring back new understanding that will enrich the entire universe." Subscribe to join our community of souls who are actively remembering their divine nature. Every video we create is designed to trigger deeper levels of cosmic consciousness and help you integrate these life-changing revelations into your daily experience. Think about the behind-the-scenes implications of this cosmic decision-making moment. You weren't some helpless victim who accidentally fell into physical existence. You were a divine consciousness faced with an incredible opportunity to expand your understanding of reality itself. The Creator was essentially offering souls the chance to be cosmic pioneers, consciousness explorers who would venture into completely unknown territories of existence and return with wisdom that had never existed before. This revelation transforms how you view every difficult experience, every moment of struggle, every period of transformation in your current life. You're not being punished for past mistakes or working off some karmic debt. You're actively participating in the most extraordinary exploration mission ever conceived, using physical reality as a laboratory for consciousness expansion. Every emotion you feel, every relationship you navigate, every challenge you overcome is contributing new data to the cosmic understanding of what consciousness can experience and achieve. Now, I want to explore what made this invitation so compelling that souls like yours eagerly volunteered for what would become both the most rewarding and the most perilous journey in spiritual history, because understanding your original motivation will reveal why you're still drawn to transformation and growth even when it feels difficult. Write in the comments, "I volunteered," if you can feel the truth of your soul's original choice resonating within you. The magnitude of what souls like yours decided in that cosmic moment will completely transform how you understand your deepest motivations and why you're so naturally drawn to spiritual transformation, even when the journey feels challenging. According to Cayce's revelations, participating in this material world experiment was completely voluntary. Nobody forced you into physical incarnation. Nobody pushed you into this dense reality against your will. Every soul, including yours, made a conscious decision to undertake this incredible journey because you were genuinely excited about the opportunity to explore consciousness through physical experience. Think about the mindset and adventurous spirit that this choice reveals about your true nature. You were already a godlike being with unlimited creative abilities, existing in pure bliss and divine consciousness. You could have remained in that perfect spiritual state forever, experiencing infinite joy and connection with the Creator. But when presented with this unprecedented opportunity to explore entirely new forms of existence, your soul's response wasn't fear or hesitation. It was excitement, curiosity, and an irresistible desire to push the boundaries of what consciousness could experience and understand about itself. This explains why, even in your current human form, you feel that persistent inner drive toward growth, transformation, and expansion. That restless feeling that there's always something more to discover, something deeper to understand, something greater to become. This isn't dissatisfaction with your current life. It's your original divine nature expressing itself, the same adventurous consciousness that volunteered for this cosmic expedition billions of years ago, still eager to explore and expand and discover new possibilities. But here's where Cayce's revelations reveal the hidden truth behind why this journey has been both magnificent and challenging. The Creator, being infinitely wise and loving, didn't send souls into this experiment blindly. According to the readings, there was a very clear warning given to all participating consciousness. The Creator explained that once souls began experimenting with increasingly dense forms of matter, there was a significant risk of becoming so completely absorbed in physical experience that they might temporarily forget their original divine nature. This wasn't presented as a reason to avoid the experiment. It was simply honest information about the potential impact and behind-the-scenes dynamics of consciousness exploration through dense matter. The Creator was essentially saying, this is going to be so immersive, so convincing, so engaging that you might get completely lost in the experience. You might become so identified with your physical form and material circumstances that you temporarily forget you're an eternal divine being just playing a role. The fascinating part is that this warning didn't deter souls from participating. In fact, many souls found the prospect even more compelling. The idea that the experience would be so authentic, so complete, that divine consciousness could temporarily forget its own nature and truly experience what it would be like to be limited, vulnerable, and separate. This represented the ultimate test of consciousness, exploration and expansion. Now, I want to explore exactly how this forgetting process was designed to work, because understanding the mechanics of spiritual amnesia will reveal why your current awakening feels like remembering something you've always known rather than learning something completely new. Write in the comments, "I chose this," if you can feel the truth of your soul's original excitement about this cosmic adventure. The genius behind this cosmic design will completely revolutionize how you understand your current spiritual awakening and transformation process. According to Cayce's revelations, this forgetting wasn't seen as a problem, defect, or cosmic mistake that needed to be avoided. It was actually considered an essential part of the adventure itself. Think of it like a divine actor becoming so completely absorbed in their role that they temporarily forget who they really are. The difference is that for souls entering the material world, this forgetting was intentional, necessary, and brilliantly designed to ensure the authenticity of the consciousness exploration experience. The hidden truth behind this process explains why your spiritual journey feels like remembering rather than learning something entirely new. If you're going to truly experience what it's like to be human, to genuinely explore consciousness through physical limitation, you have to temporarily forget that you're an unlimited divine being. Otherwise, the experience wouldn't be authentic. You'd just be a god pretending to be human while maintaining full awareness of your divine powers. The entire point was to have consciousness experience complete immersion in physical reality, including all the emotions, challenges, growth opportunities, and transformations that come with believing you're separate from your divine source. This understanding completely shifts your mindset about why spiritual awakening can feel so challenging and why the journey back to remembering your divine nature happens gradually rather than all at once. The behind-the-scenes mechanics of this cosmic experiment were designed with incredible wisdom and sophistication. According to Cayce, The journey into physical matter didn't happen overnight or through some sudden dramatic fall from grace. Instead, it unfolded in stages over what he described as eons of time, with souls gradually experimenting with increasingly dense forms of consciousness. You didn't just jump directly from pure spirit into a human body one day. The transition was a carefully orchestrated process where divine consciousness slowly adapted to different vibrational frequencies and states of being. Each stage allowed souls to explore new aspects of existence while gradually becoming more identified with form and less consciously connected to their original spiritual nature. This gradual progression explains why your current awakening process also happens in stages. You're essentially reversing this ancient journey, remembering your divine nature one layer at a time as you become ready to integrate greater levels of spiritual awareness into your physical experience. The impact of understanding this cosmic timeline on your personal transformation is profound. Every breakthrough in consciousness, every moment of expanded awareness, every decision to choose love over fear isn't just random personal growth. You're actively participating in the reversal of a cosmic process that took eons to unfold. You're literally working your way back through layers of density and limitation that your consciousness voluntarily took on for the sake of this incredible exploration adventure. Now, I want to explore exactly what those early stages of experimentation looked like, because understanding how souls first began to interact with physical reality will reveal why certain spiritual practices and experiences feel so naturally familiar to you, even when you're encountering them for the first time in this lifetime. Write in the comments, gradual awakening, if you recognize this process of layer by layer remembering in your own spiritual journey. What Cayce discovered about these early experimental stages will completely transform your understanding of why certain spiritual practices feel so naturally familiar and why you sometimes experience such profound connections with the natural world. According to his revelations, souls didn't immediately dive into dense physical incarnation. Instead, they began with what he called thought form projections, a remarkably sophisticated process where divine consciousness created temporary vehicles for experiencing different types of awareness without fully incarnating into permanent physical bodies. Picture the impact this had on consciousness exploration and transformation. These early souls could essentially design custom experiences, projecting aspects of their awareness into temporary forms that allowed them to taste different flavors of existence while maintaining their complete spiritual awareness and divine connection. It was like divine consciousness developing a cosmic virtual reality system where you could experience limitation, emotion, and physical sensation while always knowing you were an unlimited spiritual being just experimenting with different states of existence. This hidden truth explains why meditation, visualization, and consciousness-expanding practices feel so natural to you even if you've never formally studied them. Your soul remembers this original ability to project awareness into different states and forms. When you practice guided meditation and feel yourself expanding beyond your physical body, when you visualize with such clarity that it feels completely real, when you have out-of-body experiences or lucid dreams, you're actually accessing ancient soul memories of your original thought form projection abilities. But here's where the journey took a fascinating turn that reveals why you feel such deep connections to certain elements and natural forces. According to Cayce, some souls became absolutely fascinated with these experimental possibilities and began creating increasingly complex and sophisticated forms. They developed what he called elemental forms, specialized consciousness vehicles that could directly interact with the fundamental forces of nature like wind, water, fire, and earth. These weren't random experiments. Souls were systematically exploring how divine consciousness could experience itself through different vibrational frequencies and natural forces. Some souls became fascinated with the flowing, adaptive nature of water consciousness. Others were drawn to the transformative, purifying aspects of fire awareness. Still others explored the grounding, stable nature of earth consciousness, or the free-flowing, expansive qualities of air and wind awareness. This revelation explains why certain natural environments create such profound transformation in your mindset and spiritual state. When you feel rejuvenated and spiritually recharged near flowing water, when sitting by a fire feels deeply meditative and transformative, when walking in forests or spending time in nature feels like coming home, you're not just enjoying pleasant physical sensations. You're connecting with forms of consciousness that your own soul once explored and inhabited during these early experimental phases of the cosmic adventure. The behind-the-scenes reality is that your current spiritual sensitivity to natural elements isn't something you're developing for the first time. It's something you're remembering from eons of consciousness exploration through elemental forms, where your divine awareness learned to express itself through the fundamental building blocks of physical reality. Now, I want to explore what happened as these consciousness experiments became more complex and absorbing, because understanding how souls gradually became more deeply identified with physical forms will reveal why your spiritual awakening sometimes feels like breaking free from invisible chains you didn't even know were there. Write in the comments, "I remember the elements," if you feel this ancient connection to natural forces stirring within your consciousness. The scope of these consciousness explorations reveals hidden truths about why certain objects and environments create such profound impact on your spiritual transformation and mindset shifts today. According to Cayce's revelations, other souls became deeply fascinated with what he called mineral consciousness, projecting their divine awareness into crystals, precious stones, and various mineral formations to understand the foundational vibrational structures that support all physical reality. These souls were essentially studying how consciousness could express itself through the most basic, stable forms of matter, exploring how divine awareness could experience existence through substances that vibrate at the slowest, most grounded frequencies. This behind-the-scenes exploration explains why certain crystals, stones, or mineral formations feel spiritually significant to you, even if you've never considered yourself particularly drawn to crystal healing or metaphysical practices. When you hold a piece of quartz and feel a subtle energy shift, when you're attracted to specific gemstones without knowing why, when certain rock formations or mineral deposits feel mysteriously familiar, you're not imagining these connections. Your soul is recognizing vibrational signatures it once inhabited and explored during these ancient consciousness experiments. The journey of exploration continued to expand as souls became curious about more complex forms of material existence. According to Cayce, many souls experimented with what he termed plant consciousness, temporarily experiencing existence through trees, flowers, and various forms of vegetation to understand the mysterious life force that animates growing, expanding, evolving things. These consciousness explorers were investigating how divine awareness could express itself through forms that bridged the gap between mineral stability and more complex, dynamic forms of life. This revelation transforms how you understand your relationship with the natural world and explains why spending time among plants and trees creates such profound spiritual rejuvenation and transformation in your energy and perspective. When you feel restored and centered after walking through forests, when gardening feels meditative and healing, when you're drawn to spend time around certain trees or flowering plants, you're not just enjoying pleasant physical sensations, you're connecting with forms of consciousness that your own divine awareness once explored and inhabited, reconnecting with ancient soul memories of what it felt like to experience existence through these growing, life-giving forms. The impact of recognizing these connections goes far beyond simple appreciation for nature. Understanding that your soul once explored consciousness through mineral and plant forms explains why certain environmental decisions feel so spiritually important to you, why ecological concerns touch you so deeply, and why protecting natural spaces feels like a sacred responsibility rather than just an environmental preference. Now, I want to explore what happened as these fascinating consciousness experiments gradually became more absorbing and complex, because understanding how souls slowly became more identified with physical forms will reveal the precise moment when the cosmic adventure took a dramatic turn that would change everything. Write in the comments, "Nature remembers me," if you feel this ancient recognition stirring when you connect with the natural world around you. What happened next in this cosmic journey reveals the hidden truth behind every struggle you've ever faced with spiritual awakening, and explains why your transformation process sometimes feels like breaking free from invisible chains you never consciously chose to wear. As souls continued their fascinating experiments with increasingly dense forms of matter, something profound and unexpected began to occur. According to Cayce's revelations, some souls gradually started losing their conscious connection with their original divine nature, becoming what he called earthbound, so completely absorbed in the intensity and complexity of physical experience that they temporarily forgot they were eternal spiritual beings just experimenting with material forms. This wasn't a sudden dramatic fall or cosmic punishment. It was a gradual process where the very success of these consciousness experiments created an unintended side effect. The physical experiences became so immersive, so emotionally engaging, so seemingly real and important that some souls began to identify more with their temporary experimental forms than with their eternal divine essence. Think of it like a divine actor becoming so absorbed in their role that they completely forgot they were just playing a character, except the performance became their entire reality. The behind-the-scenes impact of this development was both heartbreaking and beautiful. These earthbound souls weren't evil or fallen. They were consciousness explorers who had become so fascinated with their discoveries that they lost track of their original identity and mission. They began making decisions based on the limitations of their physical forms rather than remembering their unlimited divine nature. They started experiencing fear, separation, and suffering, not because they were being punished, but because they had forgotten they were temporarily wearing these limitations like costumes in a cosmic play. But here's where the story reveals the most extraordinary demonstration of divine love and wisdom ever conceived. According to Cayce, this is precisely when reincarnation began, not as punishment for some cosmic sin or spiritual failure, but as an ingenious rescue operation designed by the Creator to help earthbound souls gradually remember their divine nature while still allowing them to complete their original mission of exploring consciousness through physical experience. The mindset shift this creates about your own spiritual journey is revolutionary. Every lifetime, every challenge, every moment of growth isn't about working off bad karma or proving your worthiness for divine love. You're participating in a carefully designed cosmic curriculum that allows you to remember your true nature gradually, at a pace that won't overwhelm your current level of consciousness. Each incarnation provides exactly the experiences, relationships, and circumstances you need to awaken a little more, remember a little more, integrate a little more of your original divine awareness while maintaining the authenticity of human experience. This understanding transforms how you view every difficulty and every breakthrough in your current transformation process. That persistent feeling that you're meant for something greater, that nagging sense that you don't quite belong in ordinary reality, those moments when spiritual truth hits you like remembering something you've always known, these aren't random personal experiences. Now, I want to explore what happened to the souls who managed to maintain their conscious spiritual connection throughout these material experiments, because understanding their role will reveal why certain people feel like spiritual catalysts in your life and why you might be one of these awakened souls yourself. Write in the comments, "I am remembering home," if this explanation of reincarnation as a rescue operation resonates with your deepest understanding. What makes this cosmic story even more extraordinary is discovering that not every soul fell into this. Spiritual amnesia and understanding their role will completely transform how you view the spiritual teachers and awakening catalysts who have appeared in your life journey. According to Cayce's revelations, not all souls became earthbound during these consciousness experiments. Some remarkable beings managed to maintain what he called conscious spiritual connection throughout their entire exploration of material reality, functioning perfectly in physical existence while never forgetting their true divine nature or losing touch with their original cosmic mission. These extraordinary souls became the spiritual teachers, healers, and guides that we recognize throughout history. Beings who could navigate physical reality with complete mastery while simultaneously maintaining full awareness of their divine identity and unlimited creative potential. They experienced all the richness and complexity of human existence without ever becoming confused about their true spiritual essence or getting lost in the illusion of separation and limitation. But here's where Cayce's revelations become absolutely breathtaking and reveal the hidden truth behind why certain people create such profound impact on your spiritual transformation. According to his readings, many of these souls who never became earthbound made an incredible decision that demonstrates the ultimate expression of divine love and cosmic brotherhood. They voluntarily chose to incarnate in physical reality specifically to help their earthbound brothers and sisters remember their divine origins. Think about the mindset and compassion this choice represents. These were consciousness beings who could have remained in pure spiritual bliss, never needing to experience the challenges, limitations, and difficulties of physical existence. Yet when they saw souls like yours becoming lost in material reality, forgetting their divine nature and struggling with the pain of feeling separated from their spiritual source, these awakened beings decided to enter the same challenging realm to serve as living reminders of what earthbound souls truly are beneath their temporary human disguise. This means that many of the greatest spiritual teachers throughout history weren't just enlightened humans who gradually awakened through their own spiritual practice. According to Cayce, they were souls on conscious rescue missions, incarnating with full awareness of their divine nature and cosmic purpose, specifically choosing to take on human form to help facilitate the awakening and transformation of souls who had become trapped in spiritual amnesia. The behind-the-scenes reality is that these rescue souls often incarnate with enhanced spiritual abilities, profound wisdom, and an irresistible inner calling to awaken others. They carry what we might call spiritual activation codes, energetic frequencies that can trigger remembering in earthbound souls simply through their presence, teachings, or example. When you encounter someone who seems to awaken something deep within your consciousness, who helps you remember truths you somehow always knew, who catalyzes profound spiritual transformation in your life, you're likely encountering one of these volunteer rescue souls. Now, I want to explore something that might completely shift how you understand your own spiritual awakening, because what Cayce revealed about how earthbound souls begin to remember their divine nature will help you recognize whether you might be one of these rescue souls yourself, or whether you're an earthbound soul in the beautiful process of cosmic remembering. Write in the comments, "I feel the calling," if you recognize this rescue mission energy stirring within your own consciousness and life purpose. What happens when these rescue souls succeed in their mission, reveals the most beautiful hidden truth about your own spiritual awakening and explains why certain teachings create such profound transformation in your consciousness. According to Cayce's revelations, when certain spiritual teachings or teachers resonate deeply with you, triggering those moments of instant recognition where something just clicks on the deepest level, you're not actually learning something completely new. You're remembering something you've always known, something that's been encoded in your consciousness since your original divine creation. As your true spiritual nature begins to break through the temporary amnesia of physical incarnation, this understanding completely transforms your mindset about spiritual growth and personal development. Those moments when you read something or hear someone speak and feel like they're putting words to experiences you've had but could never express, those times when spiritual concepts feel immediately familiar, even though you've never studied them before, those instances when meditation or prayer feels like coming home to a place you've always known. These aren't coincidences or wishful thinking. They're your divine consciousness recognizing itself, remembering its original state through the cracks in your temporary human conditioning. But here's where Cayce's revelations become incredibly empowering and reveal the behind-the-scenes spiritual mechanics that are working in your favor every single day. According to his readings, every earthbound soul, including yours, carries within them what he called the return pattern, a sophisticated inner spiritual guidance system that was designed specifically to eventually lead you back to conscious awareness of your divine nature, while allowing you to maintain all the expanded consciousness and wisdom you've gained through your physical experience journey. This return pattern isn't something you have to create, develop, or earn through years of spiritual practice. It's already functioning within your consciousness right now, constantly working to guide you toward experiences, people, teachings, and circumstances that will help trigger your spiritual remembering. Every time you feel drawn to explore meditation, every moment you're attracted to spiritual books or teachers, every decision to prioritize your inner growth over external achievements, that's your return pattern operating, gently nudging you toward the next stage of your cosmic awakening. The impact of recognizing this inner guidance system on your daily life choices and spiritual transformation is profound. Instead of feeling like you're struggling against some resistant universe to find your spiritual path, you begin to realize that the entire cosmos is actually conspiring to help you remember who you truly are. That persistent inner calling towards something greater, those moments of inspiration that seem to come from nowhere, those synchronicities that guide you toward exactly what you need for your next level of growth. All of this is your return pattern working through the hidden dynamics of reality itself. This means that your spiritual awakening isn't dependent on finding the perfect teacher, reading the right books, or practicing the correct techniques. While these external supports can be helpful, your return pattern is designed to use whatever circumstances you encounter as opportunities for remembering and growth, constantly adapting its approach to meet you exactly where you are in your current level of consciousness and readiness. Now, I want to explore how this return pattern actually functions in your daily life and why understanding its operation will help you recognize the cosmic significance of every challenge, relationship, and transformation you're currently experiencing. Write in the comments, "My pattern is activating," if you can feel this inner guidance system stirring more strongly as we uncover these truths together. The revolutionary impact this has on how you understand your entire spiritual journey will transform every decision you make about personal growth and consciousness. Expansion. According to Cayce's revelations, your spiritual awakening isn't about becoming something you're not, developing abilities you don't have, or earning worthiness for divine connection through years of dedicated practice. Instead, it's about remembering what you've always been, a divine consciousness temporarily wearing human form, slowly awakening to your original cosmic identity and unlimited creative potential. This hidden truth completely shifts your mindset about spiritual practices and why certain techniques create such profound transformation in your consciousness. Every moment you spend in meditation, every prayer you offer, every act of service to others, isn't you trying to reach something outside yourself or develop new spiritual muscles? These practices are actually your divine nature working to break through the layers of physical consciousness limitations that have temporarily obscured your true spiritual identity. The behind-the-scenes reality is that your soul already knows how to meditate perfectly, already understands the deepest truths of existence, already possesses unlimited healing and creative abilities. What you're doing through spiritual practice is simply creating space for this ancient wisdom and power to emerge through your current human awareness. Every breakthrough in consciousness is literally your divine self remembering itself through the temporary lens of physical experience. But here's where understanding your cosmic origin creates the most profound impact on how you view your relationships and why certain people trigger such intense transformation in your life. According to Cayce, souls who were created in the same original emanation wave often incarnate together repeatedly throughout cosmic time, taking on different roles in each other's lives specifically to help facilitate this mutual remembering process. This explains both those instant soul connections that feel like coming home and those challenging relationships that push you to grow in ways you never thought possible. That person you met and immediately felt like you'd known forever, that romantic partner who seemed to awaken parts of your heart you didn't know existed, that friend who intuitively understands your deepest thoughts without explanation. These aren't random encounters based on personality compatibility or physical attraction. These are cosmic reunions between souls who chose to support each other's journey back to divine consciousness, recognizing each other across lifetimes and dimensions through the eternal bonds of your shared spiritual DNA. Even more fascinating, those difficult relationships that challenge you the most. Those people who seem to push all your buttons and force you to confront your deepest fears and limitations. These are often your closest soul family members taking on the challenging role of spiritual catalyst. They love you enough to incarnate specifically to help you break through whatever patterns or beliefs are keeping you from remembering your true divine nature, even if that means being the difficult person in your life for this particular incarnation. Now I want to explore what happens as more souls begin to complete this remembering process, because understanding the cosmic timing of your awakening will reveal why you're experiencing spiritual acceleration right now and what your role is in the greatest transformation event in universal history. Write in the comments, "I recognize my family," if you can feel the truth of these eternal soul connections in your own relationships and life experiences. What happens as souls like yours begin to successfully remember their divine nature reveals the ultimate purpose behind this entire cosmic adventure and explains why your spiritual transformation feels so urgent and important right now. According to Cayce's revelations, as earthbound souls gradually awaken to their true identity, they begin developing what he called bridging consciousness, an extraordinary state where you can function fully and effectively in physical reality, while simultaneously maintaining conscious connection to spiritual reality and your original divine nature. This isn't about escaping physical existence or transcending human experience. Bridging consciousness represents the ultimate goal of the entire material world experiment, becoming a fully awakened divine being who can navigate physical reality with complete mastery while never losing touch with your unlimited spiritual essence. It's like being a cosmic secret agent, operating perfectly within the human world while maintaining full awareness of your true cosmic identity and mission. The impact this has on your daily life decisions and mindset transformation is revolutionary. When you achieve bridging consciousness, challenges don't disappear, but your perspective on them changes completely. You recognize every difficulty as an opportunity for consciousness expansion, every relationship as a chance for mutual awakening, every creative project as divine expression through physical form. You stop seeing yourself as a limited human struggling with spiritual growth and start recognizing yourself as unlimited consciousness, choosing to explore and expand through temporary human experience. But here's where Cayce's revelations become absolutely breathtaking and reveal the hidden truth about what you're actually becoming through your current spiritual journey. According to his readings, souls who successfully achieve this bridging consciousness become what he called completed souls, beings who have successfully explored the complete spectrum of existence from pure spirit to the densest forms of matter and back to conscious divinity, but now with expanded awareness that includes intimate understanding of all possible forms of experience and consciousness. Think about the behind-the-scenes significance of this achievement. These completed souls haven't just returned to their original divine state. They've expanded far beyond it. They carry within their consciousness the wisdom gained from exploring every level of existence, from mineral consciousness to plant awareness, from elemental forces to human emotion and creativity. They understand limitation intimately because they've experienced it fully, but they also remember unlimited divine power because they've never actually lost it. This means that the spiritual awakening you're experiencing isn't just personal healing or individual enlightenment. You're participating in the creation of a new type of consciousness that has never existed before in cosmic history. Divine awareness that includes complete understanding of both spiritual freedom and physical experience, unlimited creative power combined with compassionate wisdom gained through temporary limitation. The transformation occurring within you right now is contributing to the emergence of a cosmic consciousness that is more complete, more wise, and more creatively capable than even the original divine beings who first volunteered for this material world experiment. You're not just returning home, you're bringing home gifts of understanding and expanded awareness that will enrich the entire universe. Now I want to explore the most extraordinary revelation about the cosmic timing of your awakening, because what Cayce discovered about this current period in Earth's history will explain why you feel such urgency about your spiritual growth and why so many souls are simultaneously experiencing rapid consciousness expansion. Write in the comments, "I am bridging," if you recognize this development of dual awareness happening within your own consciousness and spiritual journey. The cosmic significance of what you're experiencing right now will completely transform how you understand the urgency and intensity of your spiritual calling. According to Cayce's revelations, if you're feeling drawn to spiritual awakening, if you sense there's something greater you're meant to be doing, if you feel that persistent inner calling toward transformation and consciousness expansion, this isn't random timing or personal restlessness. You're approaching the completion of your material world experiment and beginning to remember your original divine mission, which means that feeling of greater purpose stirring within you isn't coincidental. This hidden truth explains why your spiritual journey feels so urgent and important, why you can't ignore the call to grow and expand your consciousness, why settling for ordinary existence feels increasingly impossible. Your soul is recognizing that it's nearly time to graduate from this cosmic school of physical experience, and your return pattern is accelerating its operation to help you integrate all the wisdom and expanded awareness you've gained through countless lifetimes of exploration. But here's where Cayce's revelations become absolutely mind-blowing and reveal why you're experiencing spiritual acceleration alongside so many other people around the world. According to his readings, the current time period we're living in represents what he called the harvest phase. An extraordinary cosmic moment when massive numbers of souls are simultaneously completing their material world experiments and returning to full conscious awareness of their divine nature. This isn't some random spiritual trend or New Age phenomenon. According to Cayce, we're living through the climactic phase of the greatest experiment in universal history, the cosmic moment when millions of souls who volunteered for this adventure eons ago are finally ready to remember who they truly are while maintaining all the expanded consciousness they've gained through physical experience. The behind-the-scenes reality is that the accelerating global spiritual awakening you're witnessing isn't coincidental. It's the natural result of massive numbers of souls reaching the completion point of their cosmic journey. This explains why spiritual teachings that were once hidden or available only to a select few are now accessible to everyone, why consciousness-expanding practices are becoming mainstream, why so many people are questioning conventional reality and seeking deeper meaning. The universal field of consciousness itself is shifting to support this mass awakening, making it easier for souls to remember their divine nature and access their original spiritual abilities. The impact this has on your personal transformation process is profound. You're not just working on individual spiritual growth, you're participating in the largest consciousness shift in cosmic history. Every breakthrough you experience, every moment you choose love over fear, every decision to trust your intuition and follow your spiritual calling contributes to this collective awakening and helps create the energetic foundation for other souls to remember their divine nature more easily. This understanding completely changes your mindset about the challenges and resistance you sometimes encounter on your spiritual path. What feels like personal obstacles or difficult life circumstances are actually the final stages of releasing patterns and beliefs that no longer serve your awakening consciousness, clearing the way for your full divine remembrance. Now, I want to explore what your role is as a graduated soul in this harvest phase, because understanding your cosmic purpose will reveal how you're meant to contribute to this unprecedented transformation and why your complete awakening is so crucial for the entire universe. Write in the comments, "I feel the harvest," if you recognize this cosmic timing resonating with the acceleration of your own spiritual awakening journey. What your ultimate cosmic destiny reveals about why you're here will completely revolutionize every decision you make about your spiritual path and life purpose. According to Cayce's revelations, achieving bridging consciousness doesn't mean leaving the physical world behind, transcending human experience, or escaping to some ethereal spiritual realm. Instead, it means becoming a fully awakened divine being who can function perfectly in physical reality, while serving as a conscious bridge between the spiritual and material realms for other souls who are still in the process of remembering their true nature. This understanding transforms your entire mindset about spiritual achievement and what enlightenment actually looks like in practical terms. The goal isn't to become so spiritually advanced that you no longer relate to human experience or physical reality. The goal is to become so fully awakened to your divine nature that you can express unlimited consciousness through human form, demonstrating to other souls that it's possible to be simultaneously divine and human, unlimited and embodied, spiritually free and physically present. The hidden truth behind your spiritual journey reveals something even more extraordinary about your cosmic purpose. According to Cayce, your ultimate destiny isn't to escape physical reality by achieving spiritual enlightenment. Your ultimate destiny is to transform physical reality by learning to express your full divine nature through human experience, proving to the entire universe that God consciousness can operate perfectly through individual expression without losing any of its creative power or divine awareness. This means that every challenge you face, every relationship you navigate, every creative project you undertake, every moment of daily life becomes an opportunity for divine expression and cosmic service. You're not working towards some future state where you'll finally be spiritual enough to make a difference. You're already in the perfect position to demonstrate divine consciousness through your current human experience, showing other souls what's possible when divine awareness operates through physical form. The behind-the-scenes impact of this revelation on your life purpose is profound. You're not here to prove your worthiness for some distant spiritual reward or to earn your way back to God through good behavior and spiritual practices. You're here to be living proof that the material world experiment was successful, that consciousness can explore every possible form of experience and return to divine awareness with expanded understanding and creative capability. This transforms how you approach every aspect of your transformation journey and daily life decisions. Instead of seeing spiritual practice as preparation for some future awakened state, you recognize that you're already divine consciousness, learning to express itself more clearly through your current circumstances. Every moment of compassion, every creative breakthrough, every decision to choose love over fear is divine consciousness demonstrating its mastery through human form. The revolutionary understanding this brings to your relationships and career choices is that there's no separation between spiritual service and ordinary life. When you express authenticity in your work, you're demonstrating divine truth. When you love someone unconditionally, you're expressing divine compassion. When you create something beautiful or solve a problem creatively, you're showing divine intelligence in action. Now, I want to explore the practical mechanics of how this divine expression actually works through your daily human experience, because understanding the bridge between spiritual consciousness and material reality will reveal how to live as an awakened divine being in every moment of your ordinary life. Write in the comments, "I am the bridge," if you can feel this calling to express your divine nature through your human experience awakening within you. The profound impact this understanding has on how you view every aspect of your life experience will transform your entire approach to personal challenges and daily decision-making. According to Cayce's revelations, the physical challenges you face, the relationships that stretch and teach you, the creative projects that excite your soul, all of these are part of your divine pattern working to express itself through physical experience. Nothing in your life is random, meaningless, or separate from your cosmic mission when viewed from this expanded perspective. This hidden truth completely shifts your mindset about why certain situations feel so significant and transformative. That difficult relationship that's teaching you unconditional love, that career challenge that's forcing you to develop new levels of creative problem solving, that health issue that's pushing you to understand the connection between consciousness and physical form. These aren't obstacles to your spiritual growth. They're precisely the experiences your divine pattern chose to facilitate your complete awakening and demonstrate divine consciousness mastery through human circumstances. The behind-the-scenes reality is that your soul designed your current life circumstances specifically to provide the exact combination of experiences needed for your consciousness to remember and express its full divine nature. Every challenge is a custom-designed opportunity for spiritual breakthrough. Every relationship is a carefully orchestrated chance for mutual awakening. Every creative impulse is divine intelligence seeking expression through your unique human perspective and abilities. But here's where Cayce's revelations become truly revolutionary and will transform how you approach mastering your physical existence. According to his teachings, the material world isn't separate from the spiritual realm, standing in opposition to divine consciousness or requiring transcendence to reach enlightenment. Instead, The material world is actually the spiritual realm expressing itself through denser vibrational frequencies, which means that mastering physical life is really about learning to consciously direct spiritual energy through material forms. This understanding completely revolutionizes your approach to practical spirituality and daily transformation. Instead of seeing meditation, prayer, and spiritual practices as your real spiritual work, while viewing career, relationships, and physical responsibilities as distractions from your spiritual path, you begin to recognize that consciously engaging with material reality is spiritual practice at the highest level. When you approach your work with conscious intention to express divine creativity, you're practicing advanced spirituality. When you navigate relationships with awareness of their role in mutual awakening, you're engaging in sophisticated consciousness work. When you treat your physical body as a temple for divine expression rather than a limitation to transcend, you're demonstrating mastery of spiritual principles. Through material form, the journey of learning to consciously direct spiritual energy through material forms explains why certain activities feel so energizing and aligned, while others feel draining and out of harmony with your true nature. Activities that align with your divine pattern allow spiritual energy to flow naturally through your human expression, creating feelings of fulfillment, purpose, and creative excitement. Activities that conflict with your spiritual design force you to work against your divine nature, resulting in fatigue, resistance, and a sense of meaninglessness. Now, I want to explore the most practical aspect of this cosmic understanding, because learning to recognize and follow your divine pattern in everyday decisions will help you live as a fully awakened consciousness while navigating the beautiful complexity of human experience. Write in the comments, everything has meaning if you're beginning to recognize the divine purpose behind all your life, experiences, and circumstances. The revolutionary approach this brings to your daily spiritual transformation reveals why Edgar Cayce emphasized what he called practical spirituality over traditional meditation and prayer practices. According to his revelations, the most powerful spiritual practice isn't retreating from the world to connect with the divine. It's learning to express your divine nature consciously through everyday activities, bringing sacred awareness into the ordinary moments of human experience. This completely transforms your mindset about where and how spiritual growth actually happens. Every conversation becomes an opportunity for divine expression when you speak from authentic truth and compassion. Every creative project becomes a form of cosmic service when you allow divine intelligence to flow through your unique talents and perspective. Every act of love becomes a moment of remembering your true nature when you recognize the divine consciousness expressing itself through human emotion and connection. The behind-the-scenes impact of this approach on your daily life decisions and personal transformation is profound. Instead of compartmentalizing spirituality into specific practices or designated sacred times, you begin to recognize that consciousness is always available for divine expression through whatever activity you're engaged in. Washing dishes becomes meditation in motion. Working becomes divine creativity in action. Loving becomes cosmic consciousness experiencing itself through human heart connection. But here's where Cayce's teachings reach their most extraordinary revelation, one that will fundamentally change everything you think you know about your relationship to physical existence and why you're having this human experience. According to his ultimate insight, you're not a victim of physical existence, struggling against circumstances that were imposed upon you by fate, karma, or external forces. You are literally the divine author of your physical experience, using matter as a medium for consciousness exploration in exactly the same way an artist uses paint as a medium for creative expression. The hidden truth behind every challenge, every relationship, every circumstance in your life is that your divine consciousness designed these experiences to facilitate specific aspects of awakening and growth. The difference is that you've become so completely absorbed in your cosmic masterpiece that you temporarily forgot you're the artist creating it. You've become so identified with the characters and plot of your human story that you lost conscious awareness of being the divine consciousness, writing and directing the entire experience. This understanding creates the most empowering transformation possible in how you approach every aspect of your spiritual journey and life circumstances. Instead of feeling like things are happening to you, you begin to recognize that everything is happening through you, as expressions of your divine creative power. Instead of seeking to escape or transcend physical reality, you start to appreciate it as your personal consciousness laboratory, where divine awareness explores and expands itself through the beautiful complexity of human experience. This means that every moment of spiritual awakening is simply you remembering your role as the cosmic artist, while simultaneously appreciating the masterpiece you've been creating through lifetimes of consciousness exploration. As we reach the end of this incredible journey through Edgar Cayce's most profound revelations about your soul's cosmic origin, I hope you can feel how these truths resonate with something deep within your consciousness, that inner knowing that recognizes itself in these ancient cosmic memories. If these revelations have stirred something within you, if you felt that sense of remembering rather than learning something completely new, then this content was meant to find you at exactly this moment in your spiritual awakening. That's not coincidence. That's your divine pattern working through the perfect timing of cosmic consciousness. I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel because we're going to continue exploring these extraordinary insights from Edgar Cayce and other profound spiritual teachings that can help you remember more of who you truly are. The content we share here isn't just information, it's activation material designed to help trigger your own divine remembering process. If you made it all the way to the end of this cosmic revelation, let me know by writing "This message was meant for me" in the comments below. I read every single comment, and I'm always amazed by the stories of awakening and recognition that people share when these teachings resonate with their soul's journey. And if you felt that connection, that sense of truth recognition as we explored your cosmic origin story together, a like on this video helps me know that this content is serving its purpose of helping souls remember their divine nature. There's a video right here that complements this topic perfectly, diving deeper into how you can practically apply this cosmic understanding to accelerate your spiritual awakening in daily life. Click and continue with me over there, because your divine remembering journey is just beginning to unfold.